Welcome back to Blue Zone Homestead. Today we are making two of my favorite dishes. We are in the kitchen and we are making tomato soup and fried cheese and chips together. I also gonna make crusty sourdough bread, what goes with the tomato soup, and I'm going to show you the steps I make the fried cheese and chips as well. So if you're interested, welcome to my kitchen. Let's get cooking. Okay, we are making sourdough bread. I've got 500 grams of bread flour sifted, 300 grams of lukewarm water, and I'm going to add some sourdough starter. Our sourdough starter, it's not brilliant, but we're gonna have a go. So let's take out about 100 grams, 110 there. You can put that in our bread mixture and give everything a very good mix. Got clean hands, and I've got some pink Himalayan salt, so I'm just going to give this a very good mix. Make a nice dough. I'm gonna knead that dough until everything nicely comes together, and then I'm going to put a bit of an oil in a glass bowl, and we're going to put the shaukapo by the aga and leave it. And when I remember it, I try to turn it or fold it about 3 times before our last stretch and fold. And we're going to put this overnight to the fridge and we bake this tomorrow. I usually sometimes do with different steps. I haven't got time today, so we're just all in one. All in one today with not perfect starter. Let's see how that's gonna go. I'm sure we're still gonna make a lovely bread tomorrow, friends. And that's it. Everything now nicely combined. I'm happy. So when I've got this consistency, I'm just going to put this in a glass bowl. Got oil in that bowl, I just don't want this dough to stick. Coat it with every side. Perfect. I'm just going to put the shaukapo on and leave it to it. We'll come back to it in a couple of hours. Okay. To show you that cheese, I'm going to put this cheese now to the fridge. What we've made another day, the big wheel. So I'll put this to the fridge in a minute. You right, love? You okay? Let's check this bread. How the gluten now works. You see, the dough is getting really nice and elastic. So what I do now, I'll just fold it. Kind of just fold it in the air like that.
I don't actually know if this is it, but that's to you. Oh, sorry. Hello, friends.
Okay, so just put it back in there, and that's it. It's the next day, so let's make this bread. I use this parchment sheet to transfer the bread dough. It's just easier. I take the cup off. This is nice and cold out of the fridge. And just place it on a parchment. I score it and we're done. I've already got my bread pan in my roasting oven to get up to temperature, and now we're going to put this in a bread pan and bake it for 45 minutes. This is now very hot. 45 minutes. After yesterday, and we've opened up the greenhouse and I smelled that tomato and the basil. I was craving for tomato soup, and I know I have lots of tomato kind of produce still in my pantry, so we're making sourdough bread now. It's in the oven. Today I am going to make tomato soup, so let's grab some ingredients. I'm gonna take Mexican spice blend tomato juice, or both. Basil tomato sauce. Yeah, so we've canned this last year from the garden, from our last year's basil and tomato, and this one is tomato juice with some Mexican spice blend. What else we can put in there? I'm looking. Let's put some tomato puree. Let's put some tomato puree. We'll make it nice and thick. We're gonna. Hi, Sandy. Let's put some turkey stock to it as well to use this up. And I think that's it. We don't need to bake because we still got loads of apple cobbler left. And we've got so many cheese now, aged cheese, so we can make fried cheese and chips, because still got some potatoes as well from last year. So I think the menu for today is tomato soup with crusty sourdough bread, fried cheese, homemade mayo with chips, and apple cobbler with vanilla ice cream, all homemade. A dessert is already took care of. I've already made those. So fried cheese, we've used the sourdough breadcrumbs, what we made ages ago, to coat our cheese in, and got some farm fresh eggs and the flour from the shop, potato. Yeah, I think we're good. Let's get cooking. Okay, the bread is now ready. Beautiful. I'm gonna put this out to the cooling rack. Leave this to cool. A lovely crusty sourdough bread, and we're going to serve this with tomato soup. Okay, just finished milking our 2 goats. Let's see how much milk we had. I've also soaking over there the butter beans because that's the 3rd time now. I wasn't successful growing the butter beans this year. So I'm soaking there for a couple of hours, and I think I'm gonna direct sow them. And let's see what's happened. Two point three liters. Pour it in this milk bottle. This is a 3-liter milk bottle that should go in easy. And after a couple of days, once a week I make cheese. About once a week I make yogurt. I need to get a habit to start making butter as well. Milk naturally homogenized, you know, I need the milk, the machine, the cream separator to separate the cream from the milk. And because it's a hassle, I usually don't do it. So I need to get into habit and start making our homemade butter as well. Perfect. Put this in a fridge. Another thing what we got an abundance of, farm fresh eggs. The girls are laying so well, and I really enjoy collecting with all these different colors, from blue, green, white, dark, light brown. I think it's amazing. Isn't it pretty? And I'm just gonna do this next. I only wash the eggs when it's dirty, so what I do, I just put them all in a sink and pour water over, leave it for 5-10 minutes, and then all the dirt just slips off. Otherwise, I keep it unwashed because it lasts a lot longer, even on a kitchen counter and even longer in the fridge. You don't want to open those pores on those eggs and wash off all the protecting layer, otherwise it won't last long at all. Now is the time to think of all the yummy food we can make with eggs. I think we should make pasta very soon, quiche, you know, bake. Usually when the berries coming in, strawberries, it's Alan's favorite, the Victoria sponge. Oh, we still got some, we need to have an experiment with our water glass eggs as well. Let's have some close to a year-old egg and compare to fresh eggs. That would be fun to do together. So these are got the other dirt on them, so I will use these up first. Well, let's cut into the bread. Oh, it's looking good. have a taste test. It is really yummy. Let's make the tomato soup. All these beautiful pickled radishes we've made another day. I'm just going to put them in a mason jar now. So good. Right now. Lovely homegrown, homemade pickled radish. Back to the fridge. The boiled egg is now ready. It's been boiling there about 12 to 15 minutes. I have got in here plantain and our last bits of the Crown Prince winter squash. We're going to roast this as well. It needs using up, so that can go to the roasting oven. And let's talk about the ingredients for this tomato soup. So I'm going to use, I've got this leek, needs using up. I have found some shallots from last year, so we're gonna use the shallots up. And that garlic we pulled up yesterday while we were weeding the path. So I'm gonna chop all this up with a leek and a bit of oil. We're gonna start the tomato soup, and then we're gonna use turkey stock, Mexican spice blend, tomato juice, basil tomato sauce and tomato puree. Also some freeze-dried tomatoes, onion powder and some mixed peppers, freeze-dried. So let's get the spice blend ready. Also we're going to use some potato. Half of this potato is gonna be the chips for the fried cheese as well. So that's the życiowa, smoked paprika, what we've grown together, freeze-dried. I made this lovely paprika powder with. Oh, it just smells divine. So we're gonna put teaspoons of that in to our spice blend. I forgot to put salt on that, never mind, the squash. We're gonna put a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of onion powder. I haven't got the garlic powder here, but we're going to put some garlic in. We're gonna put a pinch of cayenne pepper, we grew last year. So all these spices, not the salt, but the rest is homegrown, homemade. Tomato powder needs using up. And we've got some tomato powder with salt. Spoons of that. And I think I might go to put a bit of a white pepper as well. Salt and pepper short board. The rest homegrown, homemade. So this is gonna be our spice blend to our tomato soup. Just gonna give it a good mix and leave this aside. So now I'm going to peel the potatoes, the shallots, the garlic and chop everything up and see you then. Everything is ready. We are ready to make the soup. So I've got the leek, garlic and shallot with some oil. Can go on a stove. Put the lid on. I've got the sorrel chopped up, the garlic, white garlic flour and the chive flour now in a jar in here. Just in the water, that's gonna be a garnish. Our spice blend is done. This is just a boiled egg, what I've just finished. Right, let's have some. Let's use all this pepper up now. Freeze-dried pepper. Okay. That's fine. With some freeze-dried tomatoes. This one is actually salt, garlic, basil tomatoes. Sounds delicious. Okay, that's it. And just get these off. Turkey stock. I'm gonna discard the lid this time. Basil tomato sauce. Mexican spice blend tomato juice. Perfect. With everything ready, and the tomato puree. Oh, managed. Oh, smells gorgeous. I keep this material and some for this year, and we're gonna do the preserving. But the elastic band I usually chop because it's not good anymore. Let's check on that squash and plantain. Smells delicious. Give it a stir. Squash back a bit longer. It's nearly done. Smells gorgeous. Right, I think we're good. So mix this spice blend real well. Perfect. Okay, let's chop the potatoes up. I've lost my turkey this morning for a fox. It's always devastating. I know the fox got cubs now and they need to eat, but it's so sad. And I went up this morning to do the chores. I've noticed what's happened. I got away with it for years, to be honest, because our fencing is so good, but the turkeys do go out, and I think it's happened in early morning, this morning. So, sad. I think we're all done. I'm going to prep fried cheese ingredients next, because as soon we put this everything up on the stove, that soup can just do its own thing there. Right. Ready? I'm gonna put the potatoes next. And the spice. All the spices in now. A bit of tomato juice. And the potatoes. Give a few minutes on the cover, and then we're going to add the rest of the tomato juice and the freeze-dried peppers and tomatoes and the sorrel. Ready for the next step. I'm going to add the rest of the basil and tomato sauce. I reuse these jars every year. I only change the lid when it comes up to preservation. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, ready to put in the chopped fresh sorrel leaves with the freeze-dried tomatoes and peppers. This color is just like summer. So good. And I'm going to add the Mexican tomato sauce as well. Mexican spice blend. And I'm going to cook this medium high heat on the cover for 20 minutes. Making herbal tea. In one there is a fresh lemon balm, and the other one is my homegrown homemade tea blend. What else we've got in here? Elderberry, rosehip, hawthorn berry, raspberry leaves, strawberry leaves, blackberry leaves and hawthorn leaves. And I'm going to slice up our goat cheese to make fried cheese. And just want to talk to you for a sec about the breadcrumbs I make from our sourdough bread. So I flavor it up. I make plain sourdough breadcrumbs, or I make it with garlic, or I make it with that's the życiowa and onion, so the paprika pepper and onion. It's like a different flavoring. And I'm going to use today's spelt bread flour just for coating the cheese first. So to make the fried cheese and chips next, I've got ready the flour, egg and the breadcrumbs mixture. And what I've got prepared, I've just cut some of the cheese of our homemade goat's cheese, aged homemade goat's cheese, what I think is enough for us for dinner, and I've put the rest back to the fridge. So the first step, I'm going to just coat this cheese slices in that flour, and then it's going to have an egg wash and then breadcrumbs. Coating of breadcrumbs, and I'm just gonna leave it on a plate until dinner time. It's lunchtime now, so this is preparation for dinner. So when we go to the garden to do some jobs, I don't need to do this because it's gonna be all done. So I only need to fry this cheese when we come in and put the chips in an active fry. And we've already got the homemade mayonnaise ready. That's chilling in the fridge. So look at the color on this egg. I've just collected this egg this morning. So I'm just giving a good coating, and then goes to the breadcrumbs. This is a bit time consuming, but it's one of my favorite childhood food. My mom always made this for us. So, and we need to use up, obviously we've got so much egg, cheese as well, and chips, potatoes. Last year still they need using up now, because it's not long before the new potatoes ready. Definitely some of the volunteers. We're gonna probably harvest them very soon. Okay, I think that's more than done now. I'm glad I remembered it. Plantain's a bit on the darker side, but still good. And the squash looking amazing. While we're here, let's stir that tomato soup. Oh, it smells gorgeous. It smells really, really good. I think we are ready to put the turkey stock and the tomato puree in a minute. Okay, I am ready to add the tomato puree and a turkey stock to my tomato soup. Also, I've got some freeze-dried basil from last year. And we're going to add that as well. About a teaspoon. Right, let's strain that tea. Lovely herbal tea. This is our beautiful herbal tea. I'm going to have this today, and we also have got the lemon balm. I'm just gonna fish out the lemon balm from that tea now. And one more leaf. Perfect. And this is, I'm going to put this in a compost. Okay, this tomato soup smells delicious. Let's have a taste test. We've already tried the sourdough bread. I know that's delicious. Oh, burst. The flavor burst in my mouth. It's a bit spicy because of the Mexican tomato sauce and a bit of a cayenne pepper we put in it. I can taste that. What I love about homegrown food, that's the intense flavor. Like, I've not only put one varieties of tomatoes in this soup, but maybe 10. Do you know what I mean? So all those flavors, when they get together, it explodes in your mouth. It's absolutely gorgeous. And that freeze-dried basil, it's honestly tastes like fresh basil from the garden. The soup is delicious. Right, let's try the fried cheese next. I really enjoy making our cheese with our goat's milk. This is so good. Flavorful. That roast squash, soft, bit of crunch, sweet. Delicious. Really, really good. Chewy. So flavorful, this cheese. I'm not sure how long I've aged this cheese now. Maybe a couple of months. So good. And the crusty sourdough breadcrumbs, so crunchy and flavorful. I think we're gonna have a lovely dinner today. So I hope you enjoyed spending time with me in the kitchen. It's time to go out to do some garden work now. So that's gonna be the next vlog. But until then, see you soon. Bye friends!